A lack of confidence could hold you back at work by preventing you maybe from achieving success and the earning of the salary you think you might deserve. But there are ways to kind of tap into your bravery and harness the power of your voice. So joining us this morning is Melanie Espeland. She is the founder and CEO of Espeland Enterprises. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
We're happy that you're here. So I know you kind of have a structured approach, and the voice, when you think of it's not just what you say, but how you say it. It's really twofold.
Absolutely. The voice is a very important lever that I use in my structured approach to executive presence. And I've used this with many different executives from various Fortune 500s, and it works every time.
So talk a little bit about the literal power of the voice, and then the other aspects of it, the confidence in your voice, the charisma and all that.
Absolutely. So there's really two different pieces to executive presence, and the voice is part of that literal pillar. So there's the literal and the figurative, and the voice is part of the literal executive presence. With your voice, you can really learn how to actually use it to your own advantage. Your body is like an instrument, and you can learn how to play it. So through actually understanding the tools of how your voice works, you can actually change how you sound and therefore how you're seen at work.
So let's talk a little bit about the figurative aspects of your voice, because that really has to do with the confidence that you portray and your vision too.
Absolutely. So I'd love to actually go through one of the tools with you now, because I think it'd be great for the audience to learn because they can use it right after the program.
Okay, let's do it. What is it?
So this one I like to call the pen and mouth technique. So if you have a pen or something similarly shaped at home, you can use this. What's great about this technique is it's actually allowing you to train some of the muscles in your face and inside your mouth to work harder. They tend to get a little bit lazy because on a physical level, our tongue and our jaw is doing most of the work when we're speaking. And so by using this trick, you're actually disabling your jaw and your tongue from working, and therefore waking up all the other muscles in your mouth and in your face. It's almost like a barbell for your mouth, if you think of it that way. So really the way this works is you just take a pen, you place it inside your mouth on top of your tongue, and you hold it in place with your jaw. So like this. And you start speaking with the pen inside your mouth. You can read anything out loud. You can speak to someone who's in your home. And the idea here is that, again, you're training all these other muscles to wake up. So what happens is if you do this regularly, you're going to get better diction. So you're going to sound more polished, more clear whenever you're speaking. And you're also going to have better projection. So you're going to have a little bit more of that umph to your voice that's going to allow you to seem more authoritative. So overall, great tool that anybody can learn. Anybody can use this at home, and it's actionable right away.
How long do you hold the pen in there for?
So you can do it just for 60 seconds. If that's all the time that you have in the morning, you can do it for a couple of minutes. And it's best to do this right before you're going to be speaking. So if you have a really important interview or you're going into a review with your boss or presenting, I would do this as part of your prep right before you go in and speak.
What about breathing? I mean, sometimes I find myself, doing a 4-hour show that I have a hard time with breathing, right? And with getting certain words out, especially if they're longer sentences. And I know people do that just on a normal basis when you're doing a presentation, you're interviewing, you're having a meeting. What are your recommendations on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So with breathing, it's so important because when you're using your voice and when you're speaking, you're actually using exhale. So in order to speak, this is exhale that has to come through. If you're not breathing, if you don't have exhale, it's just not possible to speak. So if you learn how to breathe properly and you're able to actually get more air into your body, then you have more air to work with when you're exhaling and speaking. So you can speak for longer periods of time. Your voice can sound stronger. You can also have a slightly deeper pitch, and that also aligns to how people will view you as a leader. A slightly lower pitch is always seen as someone who's a little bit more authoritative. So it does all these lovely things for your voice if you just learn how to breathe properly. There's so many different breathing techniques out there, but what I will say first is make sure you're at least slowing down, right? That's one of the best things you can do, especially if you're speaking for a long period of time. Go ahead and just take a moment to just stop, take in a nice deep breath in through your nose, let it out through your mouth, and then breathe in again through your nose, exhale through your mouth.
Okay, Melanie, we've got to go, but we appreciate your time this morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Okay, I'm going to do that pin technique. And I'm going to give myself a nice little deep breath before we see you back here at 7:30, everybody.